Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this two-piece. I'm making it for someone. So the first thing I'm going to do is to so you see the fabric is folded into two. So we're starting with the short. We've already made several videos on how to make a short on this channel. So this one here is just folded into two. The width I have here is just her hip measurement divided by 4, so which will be somewhere here, because her hip is 46 divided by 4 is somewhere here, and then plus like extra 3 inches or so. So the first thing we are going to do is now to come back here, and then you're going to do, because this short you can see it has some ease, so you can do your hip measurement divided by 4, so and then you can add half an inch to it just so that you can get some ease. And then I'm also going to take that same measurement and take it up to the top here. And then the next thing you're going to do is your hip measurement divided by 4, and then you're also going to place it here. But remember, you still have to add your band, right? So let's say your band might be 2 inches. So guys, you see what I did here is to go back in and mark half an inch at the top here. This half an inch is what I'm going to use to join the band to the pant. So it's like my seam allowance. So once you mark it, that's how you now know that, okay, when my band comes in, it's going to take up this half an inch. So 2 inches for the length of my band, and then I'm going to insert my crotch measurement here. So for her, how you're going to calculate the crotch is basically your hip measurement divided by 4. So round your hip divided by 4, that can serve as your crotch length. So for her, that's going to be about 11.5 somewhere here. So I'm going to go ahead and mark it. And then how you're going to get this length from this point to this point is basically what you have from this point to this end here. That's that hip measurement divided by 4, divided by 4 again, whatever you get. So for me, it's about 3 inches or so. So that's what I'm supposed to have by the crotch. And then you're going to go ahead and connect it with the curve this way. And that's basically it for this part, the front panel. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this part out. So guys, now that I've marked this, the next thing I'm going to mark is our dart. Remember, we didn't do anything for the waist because this is going to have band in front, elastic at the back. So I'm going to just come in here because I'm going to use half an inch to join this part, right? Then I'm going to, after that half an inch, I'm just going to come in by like 4 inches. That's your nipple to nipple divided by 2, which is going to be 4. I'm then going to insert my dart is going to come in here. So it's going to be about 6 inches or so. So I'm going to just mark it here, and then it's going to go this direction and then the other direction. So that's basically it for the dart. I'm going to also go ahead and notch it. So guys, this is a boxy pant, so I'm not going to shape anything at the end here, right? But if you are more on the smaller side and you want the pant to be fitted, what you can do is at this opening here, you can measure around that part on your leg. So wherever this is on your thigh, you can measure where that part is and then divide it by 2. So let's say yours is about let's say 20. Let's say when you measure around your thigh here is about 26. So what you can do is you divide that 26 by 2, right? So what you're going to get is, because I would assume this is your upper thigh because it's supposed to be a short, like it's not up to your knee. So whatever you get there, divide it by 2. So that will be, if it's 26 divided by 2 will be 13. So you take that 13, find halfway through this pant, which is on this line here. That's half of this line. Let's say it's somewhere here, like half of this line here is somewhere here. So you're going to take that 13, mark half of it here, and then the other half of it here. And then you can connect from this point here up, and then connect from this side here to the crotch. That way you've narrowed the end of your pant. But I'm not going to do that because I want this one to be boxy. So now I'm going to also take another fabric that is already folded. This time around, I'm going to place this on top of it, the one that I already cut, and then it will also have again extension of about 3 inches by the crotch for the back panel. So now this is where, because remember we've not said anything about our seam allowance, so this is where our seam allowance is going to come in. So what I'm going to do now is just to go ahead and add extra about 2 inches from the end of my front panel to the side of this to the center back of this pant. So guys, once that is done, I'm going to, you see, I've marked that 2 inches distance from here to here, and then I'm going to connect a straight line on that same line of my front panel, right? connect from where that point end. I connected this one, so now I'm going to also give it a line this way. A smaller person can do 2.5 inch for the crotch here. So now after that, I'm going to also go on top of this part here and make sure I have about 2.5 inches. A bigger person might want, if you want the pants to just come up a lot, you can do 3, but 2.5 is okay. Just whatever you use for your crotch here in front, which will differ depending on your hip, will work perfectly fine at the top of your pants. So after that, you see the back is longer than the front because my front panel started here. But if you measure it, you see I have 2.5 inches above that. So now I'm also going to connect it and make sure it blends to the end of this line here, to the side. So connect from that point here all the way to this end. So now all I have to do is just to go ahead and cut it out. So I'm going to cut from here out and then from here out. So guys, this is it here. Take this away and take this away. So now I'm just going to split open the side, because I cut this on a fold, and that's basically it for our back panel. The same thing I did, I'm just going to come in here and give it a dart, like come down here by, let's say, 5 inches or 6 inches, and then you can insert just a small dart. This will reduce the elastic bulk at the back. If you want, you can skip this part, but I just like to give it like a 5 inches or 4 inches dart here, so that way the part that will add the elastic to it will help put the pants waist together a little bit, so that the elastic part will not be too puffy. So now that this is done, I'm going to go ahead and add a band to it. So guys, this is it here. So you see the front panel is done. So guys, once you join the crotch, because this is what we cut before, right? Once you join the crotch, pick your dart, you cut out something that looks like this, at least like 5 inches of width, and then you take it, fold it into 2 and join it to the band straight like this. And then I did the same thing for the back panel too. Once you join the crotch, you see, make a stitch, close it up, the 2 back side, and then you pick your dart. You see how short this dart is, very small. And then the next thing is, again, that same width again is what you're going to use. Join it again to this side, right? But how you're going to join it, remember, you can join half an inch, fold half an inch here, half an inch here. Sorry, half an inch on this end, half an inch on this end. Fold it into 2, right? And then put this band, the pant inside of it. So once that is done, this is what this one looks like. So now if I wanted to add a pocket, I'll just come down 1 inch after the band and add a pocket to this side. I've already made a video on how to do that. So basically you just take a fabric that looks something like a square or rectangle, put it in between here like this, right? You join one to the front and then you join the other one to the back this way. So you sew it this way, join it to the front, join one to the back, and then close up all the sides, close up the rest, and then you have a pocket here. So, but the person I'm making this for doesn't want a pocket. So all I have to do now is just to pass elastic at this back band to scrunch it up together. And then I'm going to just take this band, join it to this band, close it up, take this other side, join it to this other side, close it up. That's with my elastic at the back that's already pulled the back together. And then I'm going to take the 2 crotch together this way, sew it straight across, and then fold the opening of my pant, and that is it. So with that done, we are going to move over to the top. So to cut our top, this is a boxy top, guys. So what you have to do, it depends on the length you want. So basically, I didn't use the shoulder to the waist. I added at least 1 inch to it, right? So her shoulder to waist plus 1 inch, because she wants it a little bit longer, so that except she moves before you can see her tummy. But if you want yours that like cropped, you can just do your shoulder to your waist, that's fine. I did her shoulder to waist plus 1. So after that, you're going to, as the length of the top, you're going to then add your 1 inch for folding the edge and half an inch of joining it to the shoulder. And then once you do that, you're going to start cutting. So you see, I have 2 pieces for the front, 2 pieces for the back panel, because I'm putting everything together, the back, and then this is the front. So you see, for the front, the fabric is folded into 2, and the width I have here is her bust measurement divided by 4 plus extra 1.5, 1 inch of seam allowance and half an inch of ease, because this is a boxy top, it can't be fitted by the bust, so you have to add half an inch just to loosen it up by the bust side. So now what I'm going to do is to go up to her shoulder. So let me tell you guys, her bust is 42 plus half an inch is 11, and then 1 inch of seam allowance is 12. So that's why I have 12 here. And then the back has extra 1 inch for the zipper. So let's go ahead and start inserting our measurement. So go up to the shoulder, divide your shoulder by 2. For her, that's going to be 8. And then I'm going to come down here, mark 1 inch of shoulder slope. Come down here, insert her armhole measurement, which is 9. Connect it all the way to the top. And then I'm going to give it a curve here. And then I'm going to come to the neckline, and then I'm going to mark 3 inches of neck width. Connect this 1/2 inch of shoulder slope to this point. And then I'm going to do 3 inches for the front and 1 inch for the back. So mark 3 inches for the front neckline and then 1 inch for the back neckline. You see? So now that that is done, all I have to do is just to go ahead and cut this too. And then I'm going to separate the back from the front. So guys, this is it here. So all I have to do now is to separate the back and the front. Guys, another thing you can do for the back is, if you don't want the back to be too long, or like, because you know the bust in front will make the top to come up in front, but if you don't want the back to drop way too much, what you can do is come up at the back by at least 1 inch, and then you can reduce the length at the back too. So I came up 1 inch, and then I'm going to blend it into the end here. This, because there's no bust at the back, is just straight, so the back length might come down way too much. It will still come down, but you don't want it to drop way too much, right? So I'm going to just connect it all the way to the side and cut this off. This will help shorten the back. And that's the only change I made for the back. I'm going to separate it. And then for the front, the next change I'm going to make to it, guys, you see what I did here? I didn't do any waist measurements or anything, because this is a boxy top. But if you don't want it too boxy like that, you can go ahead and remove 1 inch from the waist, because this, I'm just using the bust measurement on the waist too. But one thing you can do, if you want it to just narrow just one bit, just do remove 1 inch here and connect it like this. So come in here by 1 inch, and then it will still be boxy, but it might come in a little bit. But for this one, I'm just going to leave it that way. And then on by the armhole now, I'm going to separate it. And then what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to just come up here and take away a little bit by the armhole, just so my sleeve will relax better. And then I'm going to cut this off. So guys, that's basically it. We are going to just set it aside. So now we have 2 pieces for the back and 1 piece for the front. So basically this way now is what the back will look like, right? And then I'm going to take the front panel and then join the shoulder to the shoulder, and then I'm going to insert my sleeve. So it will look something like this. Join it. But guys, remember, for the front, before I forget, we have a slit in front, right? So it depends on you how long you want yours to be. So let me remove this so we can cut it. You can do 5 inches, you can do 6 inches. It depends on you, right? So let's say I decide to do about 5 inches down. So I'm just going to split that open like this. And then I'm going to turn it over with my fabric. So basically put this here. I'm going to take a fabric like this, put it in here, and then sew it all round and come back up. So use like 1/4 inch to sew it down, come down here, come back up again, and then split it open and turn it over like you're doing a facing, you understand? So that will help. And then iron it out. That will help this knot to that will help you give it a clean finish. So now that is done, we are going to go ahead and also cut our sleeve. So for the sleeve, I've already cut out what I will be needing for that. So you see there are 2 of them. It depends on you, the length you want. I actually wanted to make it a turn-up sleeve because like it will give it a better look, I think. But I don't know if I have enough fabric for that. And what I've used so far is about 2 yards of fabric. So now what I'm going to do is to come up here by the top, and then I'm going to come down by 4 inches down here. So come down 4 inches down, and then I'm going to, the width I have here is my armhole divided by 2 plus extra 1 inch or 1.5. Connect it this way, and then find halfway through this line, give it a curve this way and a curve up below. Remember, if you look at their own, you'll find that the sleeve doesn't have, the opening here is not a fitted sleeve. So I'm not going to use exactly her arm width. So what I can do is just to take away about 2 inches by the end here. Or you can do your sleeve width divided by 2 and then add extra 3 inches to it also, just so you can have that free looking sleeve instead of making it tight. And then I'm going to connect from here to that point, and that's it. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut. So guys, this is it here. So you see I've joined the top, sewed it down. So guys, you see for the back, instead of using a zipper, all I did is just to turn it over on itself. So you see what I did here, that seam for the zipper allowance, I stopped at least 6 inches before I got to the end, and then I flipped each side of the seam allowance. So you see each side of the seam allowance, I flipped it on both sides, flipped it this side, and then also flip this one this side, and then I attach this button thing to. So now all I have to do is just to take this side and then use button for it, because definitely your body can fit into it, right? Because it's the same measurement, it's just like a square, so there's no need to waste a zip on it. So button will work perfectly fine. So, and then this is the neckline. The same thing is what I did here. Use a facing to finish it up, come over on this side, and then that's it. So that's basically it here. See the pants. So you take a look at the pants. This is the back. You see there's elastic here, but then look at the front. There's no elastic, it's just a band. And then you see my dart going down. This is the crotch. So that's basically what this two-piece looks like. You see? Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.